What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for playpicks.com and thelines.com, coming to you, talking a little bit of week 15 early lines here, just coming to you on a Tuesday morning. So these lines certainly have a lot of time to shape, get formed, move around a lot, but want to give you an idea of where things stand here as of Tuesday morning. Of course, just head over to thelines.com. You can see odds, live feed, anywhere you want to go. You can take a look at these live odds here. So we'll take a look at week 15 here, coming off a very interesting week 14 Thursday night game, the Jets and the Ravens. 14.5 or 15 is what you're seeing this one at right now. Of course, Lamar Jackson is at least listed as day-to-day. It doesn't really matter, I think, in my opinion, whether he goes or not. RG3 should be able to take care of this Jets team. But if you think it can make a big difference here, maybe you want to go ahead and grab this number over 2 touchdowns right now, should there be the chance that RG3 does play in this game. So maybe you want to take a chance on that, and that would certainly drop, I think, below the 2 touchdowns if RG3 were to go. We got the Patriots and the Bengals here. Patriots 9-point favorites on the road, 10 over at FanDuel, 9 over at PointsBet. Of course, the Patriots now coming off a couple of disappointing losses, and then the Bengals at home, they do get Andy Dalton back. Now they've lost Auden Tate for the season. He is now on IR, so lots going on with that team as well. No shock here that the Patriots come in as this big favorite, maybe even a little bit of value there on the Patriots at 9. Buccaneers and the Lions. You see this sitting at 3.5 and 4 right now. 4 at DraftKings, 3.5 at FanDuel, and then 4 over here at PointsBet. There is a little bit of some question marks here. It does look like Mike Evans not going to play for the Bucs. Looks like his season actually might be done. Pretty bad hamstring injury for him. Jameis Winston has a banged up hand, so something that we're monitoring as well. But the Bucs still a superior team regardless, any way you look at it, over this Lions team. But if you were wondering why this number might even seem a little bit short for you there, it's because there is those injury concerns. And of course, it looks like Evans is going to be done for the season. Bears and the Packers. Bears on the road at the Packers, and this number has fallen. This thing opened at 6 all the way down. You can see 5 at FanDuel, but all the way down to 4 over here at DraftKings. Lots of support for the Bears early in this one. This Packers team just not really putting a lot on the field for you there. I mean, it's just, they're getting it done, but there's not a lot where you're just kind of looking and saying, man, this team is certainly a team that I'm afraid of. And I think that's what the early money is trying to tell you here in this one. Texans and the Titans. The Texans just, go out and beat the Patriots and then just get knocked around by the Broncos this past week. Just very interesting team, this Texans team here. Will Fuller was out for them this past week. Don't know his injury status. Certainly something to pay attention to here. And the Titans, one of the very hottest teams in all of the NFL. You can see 3 across the board right here with this Texans team at home. You can see this +3 is juiced up here. Pretty good. This thing could be heading to 2.5 pretty soon. The Broncos and the Chiefs. Broncos, 10-point dogs on the road at the Chiefs, all the way to 11.5 at PointsBet. They must have taken some serious money early here on this Chiefs team. Of course, the Chiefs coming off a big win over the Patriots. You do have Mahomes that has a little bit of an injury situation with his hand, so certainly it's something we're going to monitor and watch throughout the course of the week here, but big double-digit favorites here in this one. Miami Dolphins and the New York Giants. 3.5-point favorites across the board here for the Giants. Don't know the quarterback situation. They actually came out and said they're going to monitor what Daniel Jones looks like. But, again, they're going to be favored regardless whether it's Daniel Jones or whether it's Eli Manning. Putting up a pretty good performance. Did come up short on Monday Night Football. But Eli Manning, look, yeah, he's washed. But it looked like he had at least a little bit left in that game. So this Dolphins team, of course, just continues to they're froggy. There's no doubt about it. They are a froggy little team. Fitzpatrick just hucks the ball all over the place, and they play bad defense and decent offense, and that's kind of the way you are going to have to go about betting this Dolphins team here. You are getting the hook, though. You're getting more than a field goal there against the Giants on the road. Eagles, what can you say about the Eagles team? I mean, had to come back against that Giants team. They did get the win, so there is that. Of course, they control their own destiny in the NFC East, so they're playing to continue on here. I mean, they are playing to make the playoffs. 4.5-point favorites on the road at the Redskins. Geis going to be put on IR for the Redskins, so he's on the shelf for the rest of the year, sprained his MCL. So he was looking like a weapon there for this Redskins team, and now he is on the shelf yet again. The Eagles situation at the wide receiver position is completely jacked up as well. Alshon Jeffrey, a quote, significant injury to him. He's going to be out. Looked like Arcega-Whiteside got hurt there towards the end of the game. They're going to have to go sign someone. They just don't have any more wide receivers on the team. So certainly take a look at the transaction wire for the Eagles as we go here, but still 4.5-point favorites despite the fact that they are an infirmary at the receiver position. Seahawks and the Panthers. Panthers have just mailed it in. No shocker here to see the Seahawks 6-point favorites on the road at this Panthers team. Fired Ron Rivera, looked horrible this past week. I expect him to look horrible yet again this week as well. Of course, the Seahawks still a ton to play for there for them. Jaguars, talking about a team that looks horrible. Jaguars, look at this. 6-point dogs to the Oakland Raiders, who have actually looked pretty terrible themselves over the last month of the season. That's what you are getting with this right now, this Jaguars team. That's the state of this Jaguars team. DJ Chark, their number one receiver the course of the whole season, was seen in a walking boot after their game on Sunday. So he is very, very questionable, probably leaning towards bad side. Doubtful. And then you got this Raiders team. Josh Jacobs sat out this past week. Comes to find out he's been playing with a fracture in his shoulder. Will he be back? We will find out. That being said, I mean, if you're the Raiders, don't you just shut him down for the rest of the year? I mean, that's just, my take here on this. You can see all the way to 6.5 over here at PointsBet for this one. I don't see the risk. I don't understand the reward. I think that the risk is way more than the reward here. You're not making the playoffs if you're the Raiders. So the one guy that has been your consistent all year long is Josh Jacobs. I would just go ahead and get him healthy. Browns and the Cardinals. Look at this. Browns heading to the Cardinals over at FanDuel, only 2-point favorites. 2.5 at PointsBet, and 3 over here at DraftKings. So you can basically shop around if you're over there on the East Coast. This Browns team just does not look right. I don't know what's going on. I mean, poorly coached. We already knew that, but Odell comes to find out Odell has been playing with a sports hernia that we didn't know about. He's going to need some surgery, it seems like, in the offseason. Is there, supposedly telling people he wants out of town, all kinds of craziness going on there for the Browns. And then the Cardinals just kind of plug along as just a good, bad team, right? Like you watch them play and you're kind of like, oh, there's promise there, but they're still a pretty bad team here. 3-point dogs at home against this Browns team. Looks like this thing might actually, if we kind of monitor how this looks like, this thing could get to 2.5 actually. Vikings and the Chargers. Vikings played without Adam Thielen again this past week. Looks like they are really going to try to get him to 100%. Dalvin Cook did play, but Madison was in there quite a bit. 2.5-point dogs, 2.5-point favorites on the road at the Chargers, who actually came out, played a really good game for the first time all year long, but they were playing that horrible Jacksonville team. So take that with a grain of salt. You can look at this. You see right here, if you take a look at the Vikings, 2.5-point, you can see that the thing is juiced, so this thing could be moving to 3. Rams and the Cowboys, you can see we're looking here, not on the board over here at PointsBet, but 1-point favorites for the Rams on the road at the Cowboys. This thing has moved a ton as well. Cowboys started as favorites, opened up as favorites in this game. This thing has moved rapidly, went down to pick 'em almost instantly, and now has flipped. Just like we saw the Rams last week, has flipped, and now the Rams are favored. Rams were favored over the Seahawks last week as they opened a dog. Same thing here. They have now flipped this thing and are favorites over the Cowboys, who have just been playing absolutely putrid. Rams team look like they are finally getting things together. Really good defense there for the Rams, and has been all season long. It was really just trying to get things going on the offensive end. Falcons and 49ers. Falcons rebounded for a nice little home win, but again, it was against that Panthers team that was absolutely wheels falling off over there. 10.5-point dogs, though, on the road at the 49ers. 11 over at FanDuel. Of course, 10.5 here over at PointsBet as well. Falcons team, Calvin Ridley looks like he's going to be shut down for the rest of the season. He got injured for the Falcons. It was a bloodbath in week 14 as far as injuries goes and important players, guys. 49ers side of the ball, they lost their starting center. D Ford is going to be out several weeks for them as well. Richard Sherman is going to be out several weeks for them as well. So lots of injury stuff going on in this game with the Falcons and 49ers. That said, 49ers still just a superior team to the Falcons in all aspects. Bills and the Steelers. Steelers 2.5-point favorites here at home against this Bills team. I mean, if you're a teaser player, this is your prime spot. This is a game with a very low total as well. And you got that 2.5 here on this Bills team. You tease that thing up to 8.5 in a game that's not supposed to be very many points anyway. Now, look, the Steelers play awesome defense, but the Bills, of course, play some pretty good defense as well. And then also just struggle on offense. So do the Steelers. This, kind of screams kind of low scoring slugfest here. So if you can get the Bills up to 8.5 here, I would feel pretty good about that. Probably will be getting that in my account here pretty shortly. And finally, the Monday night game. This is the Colts and the Saints. Saints 9.5-point favorites over here at DraftKings, sitting at 8, weirdly enough, at FanDuel, but you can see really, really juiced. And then 9 over here at PointsBet. Saints coming off that crazy game with the 49ers, scored nearly 100 points combined in that game between the two teams. Colts just continue to just be killed by the injury bug. They got Paris Campbell back from a hand injury, only for him to go out there and break his foot. So, still dealing with the T.Y. Hilton injury. There's just all kinds of stuff going on the Colts side of the ball. Saints, Jared Cook goes down in the first half of that game after catching 2 touchdowns, actually, against the 49ers. He goes out of that game with an injury. So lots of stuff that we're monitoring all over the NFL as far as injury situations. Maybe the busiest injury situation week of the season for us that we're going to have to pay attention to here as we get going here in week 15 and how we're going to bet these games and how we're going to handicap these games. So guys, as always, please like this page, subscribe to this page, like this video, and let us know in the comments what game really stands out to you. Do any of these odds stand out to you? Did anything jump off the page? Are there anything that you feel like is mispriced? As always, you can head to the lines over here. Check out these all times, NFL live odds for all the other games as well. You can actually even toggle between money line and total and even the different states, Pennsylvania, Indiana, West Virginia as well, if you want to take a look at how things kind of shape up across this country of ours. Again, hit that subscribe button, and guys, we'll see you back here for Thursday Night Football.